If this was a white woman, this wouldn't have happened.
But all I can think about is that there's a little boy in the NICU fighting for his life that will be of an unknown, a truly unknown quality, born under these horrific circumstances. And now there are two children who don't have their mother.
Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl Cindy. Welcome back again to another video. I trust you guys are having a good time today. If you are coming across this channel for the first time, hi! Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So I was just going through TikTok and this video right here just popped out on my For You page, and this creator right here is talking about Adriana Smith. After seeing her video, I quickly, Google about Adriana Smith just to get an update. And on your screen is a screenshot of what I saw. You can please pause to read, but I'm gonna read it out for you. Now, trigger warning, if at some point watching this video and you feel triggered, please click out. So the article says, brain dead mom forced to be kept alive because of Georgia's anti-abortion laws gave birth via C-section. He went on to say that Adriana Smith, a 31-year-old brain dead Atlanta woman, gave birth on June 13th and will be removed from life support on Tuesday under Georgia abortion laws, her family says. So I don't know if you have heard about this, but I thought to make this video to bring your update and of course to show your videos because people are reacting to it on TikTok. Guys, seriously, I don't know how this is okay. I don't know why this is happening. Because in my previous video, some people were kind of okay with this situation. But personally, I am not. And also, in my previous video, I asked a question, and I'm going to ask the question again. Will they do this to a white woman? This is a question that a lot of people are asking at the moment. And what happens now that the baby is out? I learned that the baby came out prematurely, of course, via C-section. So now they are going to take her out of life support, and that's it. So was this some kind of an experiment? Because this is also a question that a lot of people are asking. Guys, stay with me. Let's just see these videos that I've put together. Like I said, people are reacting to it on TikTok. I just want us to have this conversation today because we are creating awareness. How is this okay? Check these videos out.
They cut a baby out of a dead body because the corpse was rotting. They pumped a rotting corpse full of chemical preservatives for 4 or 5 months just to gestate and incubate a fetus. And then they cut it out of the corpse because it was rotting. We're officially past the women's rights discussion because they're toying with the notion that women don't need rights because women don't even need to be alive to fulfill their purpose. This is human experimentation with a goal to prove a hypothesis that supports their desires. America has a long history of experimenting with forced birth and things of that nature, with black women specifically. So doing this to Adriana Smith is, in their eyes, a surefire way to ensure nobody will really care. It's no longer a conversation about abortion, although it is, but I mean it goes deeper now. There is no appealing to prove to them women deserve rights. They don't intend for us to have rights, personhood, or heartbeats. Just functional wombs, in the most literal sense possible.
The Adriana Smith experiment has concluded. The baby was cut out of her womb yesterday and she was taken off of life support immediately afterward. Now, if you don't know about all the details, I'll fill you in. Adriana Smith was a 30-year-old registered nurse who lived in the metro Atlanta area. When she was 8 or so weeks pregnant, she began to experience intense headaches and went to the hospital for treatment. The hospital gave her some medication and sent her back home. The following morning, when Adriana's boyfriend woke up and saw her, he stated that she was gurgling and gasping for air in the bed. He called 911 and she was taken to the hospital. A CAT scan was finally performed and it revealed that Adriana had multiple blood clots on her brain. After discovering this, the hospital called Adriana's mom to ask if they could do a procedure on Adriana to relieve some of the pressure in her head. Adriana's mother gave the hospital permission, but states that the hospital called her back shortly afterward and told her, you know what, we're sorry, never mind, we're not going to be able to do this procedure on your daughter because she is currently pregnant. So, of course, because the hospital did not want to take care of Adriana because she was pregnant, she was shortly afterward declared brain dead and has been on machines for more than 90 days, being kept alive only because she is pregnant. The doctors at Emory Hospital told Adriana's family that they are not legally allowed to consider other options, even though the Attorney General says that that's not true. The Georgia State Attorney General came forward and clarified that there is nothing in the state's abortion laws that says that a brain-dead woman has to be kept alive for the sake of the fetus. The law states that a fetus dies when the mother dies, so this is just more medical experimentation. Adriana was kept alive on machines and on a cocktail of medications that would prevent her body from decomposing until her pregnancy reached 32 weeks. The grandmother of the 1-pound baby had this to say: "She's pregnant with my grandson, but he may be blind, may not be able to walk, may not survive once he's born. This decision should have been left to us. Now we're left wondering what kind of life he'll have, and we're going to be the ones raising him." Yesterday, the baby was delivered, cut out of her womb, and weighed 1 pound, 13 ounces upon arrival. And I would just like to state that all of the publications and reporters who are saying that Adriana delivered her baby are being dishonest at best. She did not deliver a baby. She was denied health care and kept alive as an incubator and then had the baby cut out of her. That is not a delivery. So not only did the hospital deny her health care that could have saved her life, because why didn't she get a CAT scan upon her initial visit to the hospital when she was having bad headaches? Her family is responsible for her medical bills, even though they were not the ones who wanted to keep her on life support to support the pregnancy. It literally just keeps getting worse and worse and worse the more you research. Make no mistake, ladies, this was an experiment by the state of Georgia in order to see what a fetus needs to survive. This was an experiment by the state of Georgia on a Black woman's body in order to see how little participation they need from women in order to create new life. I have so many thoughts, but ladies, please understand that males are jealous of your ability to create and carry life. The reason that they are making all of these laws, the reason that this experiment was allowed to happen is because they're trying to figure out how to replace us and how little consent and participation they need from us in order to up their numbers or bring more people into the world. Unfortunately, now that they realize that they can grow babies inside of dead women, there will likely be way more brain dead women who pop up pregnant. Rest in peace to Adriana Smith.
Adriana Smith did not give birth. She didn't push the baby out. She was deceased. Adriana Smith did not give birth. She was deceased. I wouldn't even call it a C-section. It's giving autopsy. They did that poor woman dirty. And this is why I'm so furious at people who vote red. Because this is what you vote for. And I'm not going to get too much into religion because I'm not trying to start no discourse about that because I am an atheist. I don't want to sit here and get into that. But long story short, this is not giving birth. She was deceased. It's giving autopsy. So when we're talking about Adriana Smith, make sure we are spreading the truth. She did not give birth. It was an autopsy.
So Adriana Smith was declared brain dead 4 months ago, but yet on Friday, June 13th, her son Chance was born at 4:41. Okay, born at 1 pound, 13 ounces. His mother was kept alive on life support for 4 months to be an incubator to grow her child because certain laws were passed that would not allow them to terminate the pregnancy or allow her child to die. So they kept her alive and used her as an incubator. Was this medical abuse or revolutionary? Now that they have what they need, a family was finally able to lay their daughter to rest, a mother to rest, a friend to rest 4 months later, while her 1 pound, 13 ounce child sits in NICU. Comment below and tell me if you think this is borderline medical abuse because they had to give her a C-section, being that a corpse can't push. Was this medical abuse or revolutionary? And have we gone too far? Or let me say, have they gone too far with the bounds that they are pushing?
The baby was just excavated from Adriana Smith's body. Adriana Smith, the black woman in Georgia who died at 6 weeks pregnant, and then due to medical negligence, and then was kept as an incubator against her will, against her family's will, just had her baby excavated from her body. And now he is in intensive natal care. So, what does it mean to be grown in a dead body and to be born excavated of a dead body? And also, you know what this means for the future of all women. The American medical system has always used Black people and Black bodies as medical experiments, and this is offensive and degrading and a terror to Adriana Smith's personhood and who she was. She was a mother, she was a nurse, she was a friend, she was loved, and she has been abused and degraded, and her body has been experimented on. This will change the trajectory of reproductive rights in America. Please talk about this. Please be angry. Her family's GoFundMe is in my bio. Her family has to pay her medical bills after all of this. Her being inside of an incubator, all of the technology that was used for that, excavating the baby, keeping the baby alive. Her family has to pay all of this in medical bills that they did not consent to.
She's fucking dead. She's fucking dead. This Adriana Smith is fucking dead, which is why the baby had to be born 3 months fucking early, because her body is fucking decaying. Her body is fucking decaying because she's unalive. She's not here. She's not present anymore. The fucking baby was born 1 pound. The baby was born 1 fucking pound. What parent in America would want their baby to be born 1 fucking pound? And then they acting like she delivered the baby. You cannot fucking deliver a baby if you're not here. You cannot deliver a baby if you're unalive. You cannot deliver a fucking baby if you're dead. What's not fucking clicking for them? I don't understand this. This is so cruel. It's so mean. It's so just inhumane. I feel like it's not humane, because that's what? And I saw somebody else posting like, no, these motherfuckers just was experimenting. They wanted to see if they can produce a child, if they can make a baby be born from a woman who's not alive. And y'all know what that is. Because these women are standing the fuck up, they trying to figure out ways to keep the babies booming, okay? And nah, fuck that, okay? Nah, fuck that. It's really blowing me that y'all are forcing this child to be here with no mother. And then, y'all, I know we not done. I know we're not done, because they're going to want to bring that baby back in for testing and bring that baby back in for this and for that, for this and for that, because they want to study it and see, make sure the baby's going to be healthy because it was born from a person who's unalive. Come on, come on, come on. Again, Adriana Smith did not give birth. They treated her very inhumanely. They made her a fucking human incubator while she was unalive, kept her alive, even though her body is naturally rotting because it's dead, it's decaying, and they forced her to have a fucking baby and they want to see what happens. That's all.
Adriana Smith did not give birth today because she is dead. A dead person cannot give birth. They cut that baby from her corpse. That's what happened. Now, I'm gonna sound so fucking cruel when I say this, but I really hope that baby does not make it. Because imagine what will happen if our government realizes that they don't need a live woman to have a healthy baby. Mind you, she was only 8 weeks pregnant when she died. She wasn't even done with the first trimester. Do you guys understand just how quickly the human body starts to decompose? Do you know how much effort it takes to keep the body from breaking down? And they kept her like that for 4 fucking months. Human body starts to decompose after days of being dead, and they kept her alive for 4 fucking months just so she can be a human incubator like a fucking animal. I don't think you guys understand. We're literally seeing the beginning of the normalization of necromancy. Legalized necromancy, medical necromancy. Living in a world where the government can legally keep your corpse alive to keep you from decomposing, also you can have a baby. And that doesn't sound like eugenics at all.
If this was a white woman, this wouldn't have happened. The Adriana Smith situation here in Atlanta absolutely horrifies me for the status of healthcare in the United States. And not just the status of healthcare, but the status of reproductive rights, bodily autonomy, women's rights. It horrifies me to see that a black woman who was pronounced brain dead in February was kept alive simply to incubate this fetus. The fact that a black woman was kept alive to incubate this fetus beyond and aside from her own wishes, aside from her family's own wishes, the hospital made the decision to keep this woman alive because of legislation here in the United States, here in Georgia. It absolutely astonishes me that even after the Attorney General of the state of Georgia came out and said, hey, this law doesn't actually say that there is a stipulation that a mother be kept alive after brain death because of, a pregnancy. And honestly, I've done a lot of thinking about the whole situation, and I work in public health, and I work in understanding reasons for medical mistrust, reasons for hesitancy related to medical procedures, vaccinations, things like that. And this right here is the exact type of thing that causes medical mistrust, especially among marginalized and historically unrespected populations. If this was a white woman, this wouldn't have happened. This was blatant experimentation. This was blatant proof of concept that we can keep a pregnant woman on life support and gestate that pregnancy until it's viable. That's what this is. And it's honestly disgusting. The blatant disrespect for Adriana and her family in this entire situation is so upsetting. Adriana had an advance directive. She did not want to be kept on life-saving support. She didn't want that. And the blatant disregard for her own wishes is extremely concerning, not just from a women's rights and a reproductive rights perspective, but if they can do this to a pregnant woman, who else are they going to do it to? And as I mentioned before, this is proof of concept. So as our country becomes more and more authoritarian, more and more disrespectful of women's rights, more and more focused on women as incubators for fetuses, we're going to see more of this. So spread the news. Make sure you're talking about this with your friends and family. Make sure you're talking with your legislators about this, because this type of thing cannot occur again.
Adriana Smith had her autopsy this week. So sorry, they're calling it a C-section. They're calling it a C-section when they kept a woman who was brain dead for 114 days on a ventilator in an ICU. You know, she was a nurse. She was a 31-year-old nurse. I'll be 31 next week. I'm a nurse and a doctor. And that could have been me. That could have been me, against my will, against my family's wishes, watching a 100% brain dead daughter whom they loved while taking care of her 7-year-old daughter in an ICU, fighting with the hospital and the state and the country with no options. That could have been me. That could have been you. I hope that you share every video that mentions Adriana Smith's name. I hope that you comment her name on everything that you can. I hope that her name goes into textbooks and becomes synonymous with how we do not treat women in this country, how we do not treat humans, how we do not take autonomy and justice for granted as doctors. This isn't okay. This was never okay. And it got overshadowed by all the other crazy things going on in this country. But her world ended in February. February. Do you remember Valentine's Day? Because I don't. That's how long ago it was. That is how long they have kept this woman who was not alive, tied to machines and IVs and beeping. And I can just not imagine the suffering that her family had to watch.
So I took some screenshots of comments randomly so you guys can see what other people said about Adriana Smith situation. You can please pause to read these comments if you want to. Her name was Adriana Smith. They did this against her will, against her family's will. I can't imagine what her mom is going through at the moment. Imagine a mother watching her child, her pregnant child. Wow. A lot of people said, and they are still saying, that she was used as an experiment. And again, they wouldn't do that to a white woman. I saw a video of her first son, her first child, seated beside her in the hospital, weeping, crying. Why? This is inhuman. What for? If you're talking about this, please be specific. She was a black woman. They did this against her will. And now they want the family to take care of the cost, the bill, and everything. This is inhuman. And if you are a woman supporting this, anyways, you guys, I want to hear from you. What do you have to say? I thought to make this video to create awareness. Do not forget her name. Her name was Adriana Smith. I'm gonna see y'all in my next video. Do not forget to share, comment, and of course, subscribe to this channel for more updates. Y'all have a lovely day. Bye.